I'm a fourth generation Arkansan. I grew up in hot springs in the Ouachita Mountains. Arkansas is deep into my veins and I'll never leave Arkansas. I love it. The interior Highlands are a group of mountains in the Ozarks and Ouachitas that have a lot of nature. You can go out in the wilderness and walk. You can ride your mountain bike for miles. You can go on the rivers and streams here that are crystal clear and not see a lot of people. It's a pretty incredible place.
The landscape is just dotted with bluff lines and mountain ranges and the caves, the karst systems, and we have glades that span for miles along the White River Hills. You'll find waterfalls and crystal clear waters. The uniqueness of the habitat, there's just something that draws you to it.
The interior Highlands are kind of the last large contiguous block of pine oak forest in the Central Plains between the Rockies and the East Coast. And the areas that are protected, the national forest lands, they're the headwaters of all the major streams and rivers that flow into our cities here in Arkansas. Our forests are vitally important for nature, for our wildlife, and then for our people. And so management is crucial to perpetuating a forest for future generations.
I'm Jason Garrett. I'm a wildlife biologist on the Ouachita National Forest. A lot of people, they see trees. I'm seeing species. I can look at a forest and see that it's not in balance, that fire has been excluded from the landscape. I see a forest that has potential for the habitat to be restored.
Fire has been a part of this landscape for a long, long time, and the animals you see here and the plants, a lot of them are adapted to cope with fire.
Fire suppression started with a positive mindset, a mindset that we needed to protect the forest. We needed to let the trees grow. We kind of thought it was the right thing to do for the forest.
There used to be a different culture. You had Smokey Bear, and Smokey Bear always said,
"Only you can prevent forest fire."
Everybody knows that he's the fire-preventing bear.
So the view there was then fire is bad and forests are good.
You could burn a lot more than trees.
Will she also have her parents' carelessness with fire? Only you can prevent forest fires.
80 years of that, Smokey the Bear, he had a purpose, and he still does, obviously. But at the same time here, we started seeing that, areas that did have a little bit of fire in them responded really well, meaning they were more diverse in the forest floor, in the animals. So we started thinking, maybe we should understand more about fire's role in our ecosystems here.
The slogan now is prevent wildfires. There's a large difference between a wildfire that's uncontrolled versus a prescribed fire done under very controlled circumstances. This is a fire-dependent ecosystem here. The species that depend on it can't survive without it.
The reason it's a prescribed burn is because there's a lot of things go into us going and burning. We don't just go and burn.
You're working on it year-round. All of your research, learning the burn unit, figuring out how the topography is, where the fuels are at.
All that down woody debris accumulates over time, which could lead to a wildfire. With every prescribed fire we do, one of our planned goals for that fire is to reduce that fuel load so we don't see that wildfire happen.
If you're successful and you're able to get that fuel loading out of there and get that mid-story opened up where the sun can hit the ground, all of those things that wildlife need to survive, they'll start growing. It's a fascinating thing.
The forbs and everything that you'll get back and briars and things, that's just a really big food source for multiple species of wildlife. It just starts creating that food chain. Fire applied correctly, there's a reason for it and a need for it.
after years of research and science and monitoring, we know that the application of fire is important. The application of timber harvest is important when done properly. In areas that are thick and overgrown, we can come in and sustainably harvest to leave open spaces, to leave places where sunlight can reach the forest floor. There's a prescription that is written before the harvest. We use local experts, we use our partners to help in how many trees we're going to take or what type of trees we're going to take.
The practice of forestry and the sale of timber to support a local economy can be used to generate receipts from the timber sale that can be reinvested in tremendous ecological work, and that's one of the magic parts of this prescription. By virtue of being able to sell a little timber in ways that support a profound ecological need, we can probably do 10 to 100 times more of this work on an area basis than we'd be able to do if we just had to rely on appropriated dollars from Congress.
The partnership has done such an incredible job, building the ecosystem back, using fire management, using timber management. Now there's plenty of more work to do, but we're going in the right direction. Restoration isn't just something to do, that's the way to the future. It's the way to make sure that you have a healthy, resilient, forested landscape that's providing clean drinking water, that's providing a safe haven for all those species out there. We do this work to make sure that what we have here in the interior Highlands, we'll have here for future generations.